You in my living room from Charlotte, North Carolina. We're going to have Timmy Hill hop on here as soon as he gets in, and he's going to talk to us about that insane finish that we saw from virtual Texas Motor Speedway. Let's see if I can add him. Send in your questions, though, for him. We're going to try and get some questions. Timmy, I see you. I'm adding you now. Okay, while we wait for him to connect, keep sending in those questions. He's going to answer them because we saw another great finish. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hey, good morning. Happy to be here.
Good morning. First of all, I have to know, I saw you and Lucy were celebrating after. So are you feeling it this morning? Did you have a real victory lane where you got to celebrate and enjoy it?
Yeah, she's very supportive. My wife, I can't thank her enough. Eventually, after all the interviews kind of settled down, yesterday was a beautiful evening, so we took a nice stroll around our neighborhood, a nice 2-mile walk, and enjoyed the weather, just outside. But she's been very supportive, though.
A calm celebration.
Yes.
Okay, so we have seen all of the rigs and all of the setup. So before we get started, I see that you're sitting in your seat. For folks that don't know, you have one of the more simple setups because you've been doing this for a long time. So flip the camera if you can figure out how to. I don't know how to do it on
sure can.
And let's give a tour of your sim rig.
So essentially mine's very basic. This is the seat I've been sitting in. Basic gaming chair, gaming office chair. My pedals are down here, very basic. This is a Logitech G27. 10 years ago, I bought this set of pedals and steering wheel. There's my headset, but it has a shifter. It has an option whether you want to go road racing with these paddle shifters here, or you can do the H pattern, and it has some options there. And but this is a very basic setup, and kind of since I kind of have my camera around, I'll kind of show you. This is my man cave. When I had my apartment, I had kind of stuff kind of just plastered all over my apartment. My wife says we're not going to have this when we have our house. We have one room, so we entered. There's my man cave. When I won Rookie of the Year, there's the trophy we got, and I kind of plastered all my fun stuff. I don't have typical die cast, so I kind of have some friends of mine make some die casts over my career, so I have a lot of those that are very special to me. And one thing I do in real life is I do a lot of golfing. So when I go to golf courses that are new for me, I typically get a logo ball. So different golf courses have. There's a neat one, the Brickyard at Indianapolis, and I collect those, and I've got quite a few now. And there's my Rookie of the Year suit from when we won Rookie of the Year, and some neat things. There's my first Brickyard race. So this is kind of my man cave, and there's my nice setup for iRacing, and that's kind of my passions.
Well, that is some male goals that you have going on there, because everybody wants a man cave. Yes. It's like whether or not the wife will let you have one or not. So you've been iRacing for a while now. How did you get into it, and what got you started? Because a lot of guys, even now that run in the Cup Series with you as well, will mention your name as being one of the best on iRacing. So what led you down to be one of the best and get a ton of wins on iRacing?
So I got into iRacing probably 10 years ago, and that's why when NASCAR put these stat pages up where it says Timmy Hill has 1,600 starts, and like 670 wins. I've done it over a 10-year period, so I didn't just do it overnight or the last year. So
yeah, he's been practicing really hard these last couple of weeks.
So it's been fun. I've always used iRacing as a tool. I know when I won Rookie of the Year that season, I really relied on iRacing. I got on it quite a bit, and it was fun for me. So it was a tool that I would learn quite a bit, but it became fun, and they have a lot of public races. And I would actually meet a lot of really nice people in iRacing. I would people who never had an opportunity to race at local divisions and say it was too inexpensive, and they got on iRacing, great people on iRacing, and I would meet a lot of real life drivers as well. We just really hit it off, and it was a big passion for everybody on there. So I was kind of a favorite because I did it so much and I was so dedicated to it, and I'm so serious about it. My real life racing means so much to me. So if that meant practicing my tail off in iRacing, that's just what I did. So it's just I was really prepared for a race like this.
Well, it's paid off, and we've seen two great finishes now. But when this got put together for the iRacing Pro Invitational Series, what did that look like on the driver standpoint? I've asked every driver that I've talked to about this, but it really came together pretty quickly for you guys with Fox hopping on board, all the drivers getting involved. So what did that, just the actual getting logistics set up and making sure that everybody was going to come and do this together look like?
I think I'm going to give a lot of credit to Dale Jr. and Denny Hamlin. They were two drivers that really kind of led the charge, because I think what led to Fox kind of jumping on board was a lot of the stars really saying, hey, let's do this. So, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Busch have been kind of vulnerable in this process because they've been very inexperienced in this. But I know Kyle, for example, has been practicing his tail off, and he wants to do better, get better. So I really appreciate those guys being vulnerable in this scenario. But iRacing, they reached out to us and said, hey, would you guys like to do something like this? And reached out to me. And at the time, we didn't know how big this would be. And I'm glad that Fox jumped on board and said, hey, we'd like to be a part of this, because I think it's been a nice relief for a lot of fans to kind of tune in and watch a lot of their favorite drivers kind of compete on a virtual level. So it's been a different experience because it's been very new to a lot of these guys. It's this a lot of fans. So people have been asking a lot of questions, how to get involved. And I think it's a nice way for a lot of race fans to also get involved in racing. So it's been really a fun process in getting this thing started.
We had Fox, be so successful with the first ever broadcast from virtual Homestead Miami Speedway, and we've seen the numbers on iRacing that so many more people are adding accounts and buying setups and at least wanting to be a part of this with you guys. It's also helped you, and I know that you mentioned it yesterday in your post-race interview, that you're a team and a driver that isn't always mentioned on the real track quite as much and doesn't always gain that publicity. But here, you and the likes of Garrett Smithley, you guys' names have been mentioned quite a few times on national networks and running up front. We've seen you guys compete for a win both weeks. So what's that been like for you personally, just to know that it's been a little bit more recognition and a little bit more, Timmy Hill is running up front and your name is mentioned a lot more?
It's definitely been a game changer. It's funny. When I finished third last week at Homestead, I almost got more attention and more interviews than I did for finishing third at Daytona in the Xfinity race. So that was neat. I knew that this was going to be something big. So when we won this week, I've got a tremendous amount of outreach, interviews that I can hardly keep up with. And it's been a nice feeling for us, So I know I was talking to my car owner yesterday, Carl Long, and he's been ecstatic. And it's been a nice boost of energy, because what this does for us, it allows more attention and more eyes on us. People become more familiar with Timmy Hill and the 66 car. And it's nice because we're attracting more sponsors for when we do go back real racing. And, for me personally, I like to prove that I can do this on most occasions. People don't really know who I am or ever even see me because, we're just not in the picture. And rightfully so, the guys that win those races, run up front, they deserve the TV time. We would like to get more than what we get, but ultimately we would like to run better too. So hopefully from this that we can attract sponsors and make our cars better, and ultimately that'll make me better in real life. And maybe we talk about myself more in real life too, if that comes to be the situation for us.
I definitely think people will be talking about you're the guy that did a post-race interview while also doing a burnout. So you might have made history with doing both of those.
Yeah, I know Mike can definitely love that. And
yeah. I don't know if you could see Jeff's face while you were talking to him, but his face was lit up like, man, this guy's doing a burnout. This is really cool.
I just hope I didn't wreck him while I was talking to him.
Yeah. Okay, so we have Bristol Motor Speedway coming up this upcoming weekend. It's a short track. Everybody knows that there's, as you like to call it now, the boot, scoot, and boogie is very popular in Bristol, pushing people out of the way. So what does prep look like for you for this week to get ready for Bristol?
Yeah, and I don't know how I came up with the biscuit and boogie right
there. It was a good one. I'm a Brooks and Dunn fan, so it was perfect.
Yeah, it was a good one-liner. But Bristol, man, it's gonna be action packed, just like real life. You see a lot of beating and banging. To be honest, I think you probably see more beating and banging on the virtual Bristol. So definitely stay tuned. I don't think William's happy with me, so he'll probably perform the old boot scoot on me.
Yeah, you might have a little payback coming your way for him.
So, no, we're looking forward to it. I haven't practiced yet. We're just kind of finishing up with some interviews and stuff. I'm sure I'll be on there. Looking forward to it. I know the drivers all are to kind of change the pace. We've done 2.5 miles now to get to Bristol and do a nice change of pace. These guys are definitely going to be roughhousing each other, and I'm looking forward to it.
Well, congratulations. I'm going to go let you enjoy. Actually celebrate. Have at least like a Coca-Cola or a coffee or something to cheers for all of us, because we're excited for you. Get ready. Stay safe. I hope you and Lucy are staying safe as well, and you guys enjoy.
Well, we are. All right, guys. Take care. See ya.